Hi friends, thanks so much for coming back to craft with me today, and welcome if you're new to my channel. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to be filming my process on how I create a journal similar to this one using envelopes. So I do have a full flip through of this journal, and I will link it down below if you missed it, but a lot of you had asked for a tutorial on how I created this. So I'm going to take you through my process today, and I hope that you all enjoy it. So for this one at least, I used some larger envelopes similar to this one here. And this is just, I think, a 9 by 12 inch envelope, so it's pretty big. And I just cut up a bunch of these to create all of these layers. But this is the last envelope that I have of this size. So I'm pretty much just going to use like junk mail envelopes and things like that to create my other pages. But it really doesn't matter what envelope you use as long as they're all different sizes and things like that. And then you can always cut them down too to create different sizes, of course. So I'm going to be using 4 envelopes today to create a similar journal. So these are all just junk mail envelopes. So this one here was 12 inches across. So I just am going to fold it in half like that. And actually, yeah, I'm going to hold it this way probably. So this is going to be my biggest page here. And then you can see my other envelopes here. They're all different sizes. So I'm just going to take the next biggest envelope and fold that right in half. And this one's just going to go around the biggest envelope here, like that. And it'll look like this in the back. And my next envelope here, again, just keep on folding them in half. And same thing, it's just going to go around the rest of these envelopes here. And my last one, I'm going to fold this way. And it'll look like this. So I think I actually want to cut this blue envelope down just a little bit because it is much bigger than the rest. So I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer real quick. And I think I'll just cut it down to, I don't know, maybe 7.5. I guess I should have opened it up. Okay, 7.5. Okay, it's still not cutting. I don't know why. This envelope is not even very thick, but I'm just gonna take my scissors, cut the rest off. Okay, so now it's a lot smaller, and so my journal's gonna kind of look like this. Okay, so the reason I use envelopes for these kinds of journals is pretty much because they are a little bit more sturdy, but they're still very flexible. And then also you can utilize them as pockets if you want to do that. And I just really like envelopes, so why not, right? So to bind my journal together, I pretty much just do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and you can decide to sew these together first before you decorate, or you can decorate everything and then sew them together. So I did that. I decorated all my pages here first, and then I sewed it together. So that's what this video is pretty much going to be, is just like my decorating process, and then I'll show you how I sew everything together. And I also will share with you some of the items that I use to cover up my pages here. So let's just start with these. I think these are from Temu. I've had these in my stash, but these are just some 6x6 papers. Since I have envelopes here, this paper is great to just cut apart and cover up a whole entire page, or just do some collaging. So I have those. I have my little paper pads here from Temu that I've shown in plenty of my other videos, but these are also just thin sheets of paper that are great for collaging. So just trying to use up what I have in my stash. And of course, I just have a bunch of different scraps as well. So there's like coffee dyed paper, just random scraps that I think would go well with the theme that I'm trying to create. So this is probably going to be another vintage inspired journal. So I have those. And then this is my favorite paper pad to use for any type of vintage inspired journal or project that I'm trying to do. It's the Park Lane Heirloom paper pad. And the paper is really quite thin. So it's also really good for collaging, I think, or even just using as pages in your journals. So they're great to cover up envelopes as well and things like that. But this is just such a beautiful paper pad with vintage inspired patterns and prints. And I just love this paper pad. So that's pretty much what I use. And then where are my little ephemera pieces? So this is from Tim Holtz here. This was like an ephemera pack. It doesn't have any pictures on the back, but it's just full of flowers and butterflies and things like that. I've already used up a lot of this. And then I also have these Tim Holtz wallpaper samples and these little wallpaper flowers as well. So I'm almost done. I think I only have 2 sheets left of this. And then the rest are just these little flowers. So I like to use this as well. And then everything else in this little lid here is pretty much just some random ephemera pieces from Joann's. And I believe, I don't remember exactly what it was called, but I believe that this was a pack by American Crafts. So it just has a bunch of different floral pieces and I guess you could say sort of vintage inspired pieces of ephemera, like stamps. There are some butterflies, some acetate pieces, and things like that. So that's all that I'm pretty much going to use to decorate my journal here. So I'm going to go ahead and first decide where I want my pockets to be. So we have a nice window here, and I did open it like this, so it's open at the top already. So I definitely want to keep this as a pocket. This here, I'll probably just cover everything up. I could utilize the lid somehow, or even tuck it in and have a pocket here, like something like that. You could also just like turn it upside down and have just a regular pocket like this. So maybe I'll do that. And my next page here, I'll probably just, how did I open it? I'll probably use this as a pocket, maybe. And then my last page here, I'm actually gonna fold it like this. And this can just be a large pocket because there's a nice little window there as well. So yeah, I think that's just going to be the general layout of this journal in particular. And then of course you can always just add as many envelopes as you want or do as little as you like. I definitely did a lot more in my other journal, but that's okay. I think this is a good starting point. So what I do is I just start with my first little page here. And I'm just gonna cover this up and decorate it in some kind of way. So let's see here. I think this paper's cute. So I could put it over here. And then on this side, I know a lot of you liked the trim on this journal here on the sides and poking out on all these pages. And that was one of my favorite parts as well. So I could possibly put some over on this side. And this is actually vintage trim that I got from a thrift store. I have that one, or I have this one. I think maybe I'll do this one actually. So I still kind of want to cover up the writing there. So I'm just going to grab one more little sheet here. So this piece could go over on this side, but I think I'm just going to glue this down first. I'll just pop my glue all over the front here and then just stick my paper right over top. And this one too. And I'm actually going to bring this sheet around to the back and glue that down. So that'll cover up a part of the back there. And I'm just going to rip off the excess here at the bottom. Just for more of that shabby type of look. I don't know. And then these little scrap strips, keep those to collage on other parts of this journal. But I'm going to bring back my trim. Come on, scissors. You can do it. So just pop some more glue. And place that right over top. All right, for the back here, I'm just gonna layer up another little scrap sheet here. And I think I wanna just tear it like something like that. So you'll probably see that I just go all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You can just feel free to do whatever you want. So that's kind of why I like these types of projects, because they are pretty relaxing for me. And they're just super fun. So that's going to be the last page. Here's our cover. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover up the rest. So I may go back and add other things to my pages, but for now I'm just focused on covering up the envelopes. So for these, I'm probably going to take some of the scraps that I just tore apart and just use those to kind of collage around the window. I do want to tear them just a little bit more though. Something like that. I'll just glue these down. And I'm honestly just going to leave these parts blank because I may go back later and just put a piece of ephemera or sticker or something over those blank spots. And so this is going to be my top loading pocket here. And I don't even have to cover up the background there because it's already white. Let's go in with one of the 6x6 papers just to switch it up a little bit. I'm just going to use one of these to cover up the entirety of this page. And then again, I will just tear off the excess with my ruler here. Okay, so there's our first little envelope slash journal page all covered up. So it's going to be like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my second page here. So one thing I do as well is, since they're going to be stacked up like this, I kind of just put these two pages side by side, like how they're going to look when the journal is complete. And I'll see what would go with this layout here, or what I think would go with it. So maybe I will just use this paper, which is from the Heirloom paper pad, and just use that to cover this up, because this could be some journaling space. And yeah, I'm just going to do that. So set that aside and just pop some glue all over here. And I'll just place this right over top. And once again, tear off the excess. I'm probably going to cover up the background just with these little scraps I had left over. So this is all going to be the background, and I'm just going to turn both of these pages into pockets using the lid. So let me just glue this down. All right, so that's going to complete the background here. And let me just tear off the excess here. I think I'm just going to glue this part down like a regular pocket. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cover it up with something later on. because you could put different embellishments, stickers, and things like that over this pocket. But I'm not really sure yet what I want to do. So I'm just going to leave that blank for now. And then again, here's my first envelope. So it's going to look something like this. So over here, maybe I'll just cover it up with some coffee dyed paper. This edge poking out, I don't know, I could just use another scrap to cover that up, a scrap strip or something. So we have this all set. I'm not going to cover it up now because I could also put a piece of trim there, but I'll make that decision later. At least for now, most of the envelope is covered up. So those are my 2 pages there. And then I'm going to grab this one, which goes like that. So over here, maybe I'll just use this to cover up the envelope because it fits pretty perfectly. Because I'm not really sure yet where I want to create other pockets or what kind of layout I want to do on each page. So this part is pretty much just me covering it up. And then I'll go from there, whatever I'm feeling. Okay. Tear this piece off as well. My desk is getting smaller and smaller because of all the stuff just piling up around me. And then I was gonna have a pocket here possibly. Or another thing I did was if it was open at the top here, I would just take like a sheet of paper or something, just fold it over the edge like this or something. And then it could be like a flip page. So you could do that as well. I think I'm just actually gonna do some collaging over here first. On this side, it's gonna look like this now. So over here, I'm gonna put that same lined paper that I used. Another thing to keep in mind too is how everything looks from the front when everything's going to be closed up. So it's going to look like this, which I like that. Then we have this, 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 and this. So now we just have one more envelope over here to cover up our blue one here. So I don't know, I like the blue color, but it doesn't really go with this whole theme. Or does it go with it? Because I have some blue flowers here. And it's similar to this blue. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave this part alone for now and go to the inside here. So I was going to use this as a pocket. So I do want to cover up this background there. Super messy gluing. But that's just going to go right about here. And maybe I'll just do some more collaging with these Temu papers. I'm just going to leave this blue showing again, and I'll cover it up later if I want to. But that is the middle, and then over here, so it's going to be like this and this. I don't know, I just really like that blue. I'm just going to glue this piece over here. Well, I believe this video is super long already, so I may just end the video here. And this blue envelope I will just cover up with something else later. But essentially, this is what we have for our little layered journal. So I hope that you have enjoyed at least seeing my process on how I cover up my pages and everything. And I will see you all in my next video where I'll show you how I sew this all together. And I'll probably just add a few more elements to my pages as well and show you what I do there. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the final flip through or final result of this journal. And I will see you all very soon in my next video. Happy crafting and huge hugs!